you've probably seen the adverts in the papers, black and white adverts for Oxfam. Poor people overseas, all they ever want to do is dig a well and go to school, isn't it? Notice that? Yeah. This little Ngenwe, he lost his parents in the Civil War. Now all he wants to do is dig a well, go to school. Brilliant. This little Kwashu, her parents died of AIDS. Now she'd like to dig a well, if she could learn how, by going to school. Brilliant. I love these kids. Let's have them here. Let's throw the borders open. I want them all over. I'm sick of these anti-immigration arguments, right, which are basically racist and make no economic sense. Let's have them here, yeah? If Cameron gets his way, you won't be able to come to this country anymore unless you have a skill that is sorely in demand. I'll tell you what's sorely in demand in this country: kids who want to dig wells and go to school. And all of them. And people go, oh, we haven't got room. We haven't got room for them all. This tiny island, haven't got room. Oh, can we do a straight swap? They can have all of our bucket-headed, Xbox-addicted, chip-eating wankers, and we'll have all their eager, tragedy-resistant, well-digging academics. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. And then, once we've filled Africa full of stupid white kids, we can quite happily forget about that entire continent without any kind of post-colonial guilt, can't we? Make the place a hard sell for Oxfam, obviously. That'll be there going, oh, this is little Ethan. He can't be asked to dig a well. And he's just told his teacher to fuck off, you fat pedo. Can we have some money anyway? No, you can't.
If you believe the Daily Mail, all of Britain's crime is being done by illegal immigrants now, anyway, isn't it? Illegal immigrants are doing all the crime. The Daily Mail, it doesn't even seem that concerned about the crime. It's just the fact that we've outsourced it. It's really. You read Melanie Phillips. She's like, I can remember when the man raping you would speak perfect English. Drive off in a shiny Morris style, right you from the colonies. That's when we were great. I'm watching a lot of reality cop shows, Brit cops, Britain's bravest cops, and cops on camera, and cops with cameras. That's a different one, apparently. They're all the same. I mean, they're all just massive white guys in body armour, kicking down the doors of recent immigrants. It's UKIP pornography. That's what it is. And they're always so disparaging, these guys, when they talk to the camera. Like, this lot here, right? Yeah. It's 6 of them in every room, right? They come in here under a lorry from Sangat, don't speak no English. They're from Turkmenistan, wherever that is. We found £50,000 in used notes, another 17 million in foreign currency, and 5,000 fake credit cards. Did you really? They're making your career trajectory look a bit shit now. You've been doing this job 25 years, you're still driving a 98 Ford Focus. Don't be so condescending. They've been here 3 months and they're already millionaires. Don't send them back, give them a bank to run. Sounds like they might understand how money works. Give them a passport, a pinstripe suit, and membership of the Garret. And then all those bankers who say that they might leave the country if their bonuses are capped, because they, well, go on then, fuck off, it's fine. These nice young men from Turkmenistan are going to do they're adventurous, they're polite, they live within their means, and they keep all their money in a giant duffel bag rather than a series of vulture funds and despotic third world regimes. They actually find their fiscal transparency quite refreshing.
I'm in London. I've never met an Australian I didn't like. And so you think Australia must be full of lovely Australians, don't you? But then you go there, don't you? You go there and you think, nah. Britain is full of lovely Australians. Australia's full of racists. And they go, no, not racist, mate, just straight talkers. No, you're racists, definitely. Well, we don't realise that they've got a reverse transportation thing going on. They've got judges. They've got judges going, for the crime of being broad-minded and not owning an AC/DC t-shirt, I'm sending you to Britain for 7 years. Oh, please don't send me there, I can be racist, honestly. I'm sorry, the court's decision is final. Now come back when you can do some straight talking. Come back when you're prepared to call a spade a flat-ended abo smacker. That's Australia. She's someone who thinks that everyone but her is racist. Everyone's racist, except her. Once we were watching Monsters Ball, starring Halle Berry, and she said, I can't watch this, it's racist. I said, it's not, it's about racism. There's a difference. She said, no, it's racist, I can't watch it. What else have you got? The only other film I had that she hadn't seen was Aliens. She said, what's that about? I said, it's about some aliens. She actually said, are they racist? I said, no, I don't think so. She said, well, are you sure? I said, yes, all right, I'm sure. I'm sure that the aliens in James Cameron's horror thriller rehash of the 1979 Ridley Scott classic are not racist. What you have here is 2 hours of acid-spitting, face-ripping, tail-harpooning, stomach-implanting, chest-bursting violence that deliberately plays on the primal fear of being eaten and of being raped and of these things happening to our children. But at no point in the film, as far as I remember, do the racists, do the aliens ever make a colour-based preference or use hurtful or condescending language. I mean, in the first and third films, the black protagonists, Parker and Dylan, respectively, that they are the last to get eaten, which may be a kind of colour-based preference, but it's nothing that would stand up at an industrial tribunal. She said, all right, we'll watch that then. The aliens in Aliens are less racist than my wife's friend Adina, right? Because the aliens didn't care who they laid an egg in, did they? They were fine. They didn't care about their bloodline. But my wife's friend Adina, she's looking for a sperm donor at the moment, and you go around her house, she's got her laptop open, and all over the wall is notes and cross-references of the man she's looking for the sperm, and it's got to be white, no freckles, no ginger head people, European, but not Mediterranean, educated to university standard, spiritual, but not religious. She's basically saying, I want the sperm to come from the sort of man I might be able to meet if only I wasn't such a fussy, controlling bigot. Pisses me off, right? Because she ran out of money, and now she's looking for sperm on the NHS, which you can get in exceptional circumstances. You can get sperm on the NHS, and you can still broadly define the racial characteristics of the sperm. I thought, really? Do we have money for that? We have money for that? Really? I think if you're like a Gina and you can't, it's basically you don't have any physical problem. It's just no one likes you, right? No one can put up with you long enough to fuck you, right? The only thing the NHS should provide you with is a bare concrete wall with a hole drilled in the wall about a foot from the floor, right? Where people like her can position their naked buttocks, and on the other side of the wall, men of all nations, colours, creeds, religions, and opinions can queue up to make a contribution. And whatever kind of tadpole can survive in the mephitic desert of Gina's fallopian system, that deserves to be a baby, doesn't it? That is actually natural selection.
I think if they did some childcare, if men of the other Abrahamic faiths did a bit of fucking childcare, right, I think they might realise they have a lot more in common than they realise. They wouldn't be throwing bricks and driving bulldozers at each other on the West Bank. They'd be too bloody knackered. All right, Shimon, I was going to smash this half brick into your evil Zionist face, but kids have got chickenpox. I haven't slept for 2 days. I was about to spray you with tear gas, but the wife's going back to work and I have to get to the school and pick the kids up. My niece is a qualified nanny, if that's any use to you. That actually would be very useful. Thank you. I'll give you my email. Is that the new eye candy peach you got there, Mummy? It is, yes. It's like the McLaren, but you can push it with one hand. And it has a handy clip for groceries and shit, and it has really big wheels for getting over all the rubble that we have around here. I think we should tear this wall down. It's taking me 2 hours to get to playgroup. Be a better world, wouldn't it?
We're obsessed with slavery. When Obama was inaugurated, the BBC commentary said, who would have thought that a man descended from slaves would one day be the president of... And then they found out, as we know, Obama's not descended from slaves. So the next time they did the commentary, they said, who would have thought that one day a woman descended from slaves would get to be First Lady of... And then someone told them that there's no evidence Michelle Obama is descended from slaves either. So the third time they said, who would have thought that one day all the people in America descended from slaves would get... They're just going, get me some slaves, aren't they? You get me some slaves for this story. This story's like the Roman Empire. It doesn't work without slaves. Get me some lovely, sexy slaves for this story, right? But when Gordon Brown met Obama for the first time, his state gift to the president was a pencil made from the timbers of a slave ship. How annoying must that be for you if neither you nor any of your family have ever had anything to do with slavery? Gordon's basically just going, oh, you're black, you're like this, isn't he? I mean, even if Obama was carrying the burden of slavery on his shoulders, but by what logic would he want a slave ship pencil? Hey, that's... What is Gordon Brown's present to a survivor of child abuse? A biro made from Myra Hindley's pelvis. A pencil case made from Sidney Cook's tongue. I mean, there's some wounds that can't be healed with stationery, Gordon. I think maybe slavery is one of them.
So, my mate Rob, I met him at the pub just after Christmas, and he'd been reading The Guardian, so I knew it was going to go badly. He reads an opinion piece by someone, and he, instead of going, well, that's someone's opinion, he goes, that is now the opinion I have always had. I'll do an Orwellian audit of my head to remove any suggestion I ever disagreed with Polly fucking Toynbee. That's what I'll do. And so he'd been reading something about faith schools, and we had this argument about Islam. And in the end, he came up with this statement that is astonishing. But I've read it in 3 respectable newspapers. There's comedians who say this phrase. It's a remark. It's very in right now. It goes like this. He said, don't get me wrong, right? I love Muslims. I just hate Islam. Yeah. So, okay, so you love everything about this person right here. You just hate every belief, practice and tradition that defines him as a human being. It's sort of like saying, I love bananas, I just hate potassium, the colour yellow, and pretty much all organic plant matter. But, don't get me wrong, I love bananas. So why don't you just say you hate Muslims? That's actually less ignorant. At least you're taking a holistic view of the whole person, you know. At least fucking Nick Griffin does that about the people he doesn't like. You know, if any of you leave here and go, I hated that bloke, he was a dickhead, and by that you mean me and all my phrenic and molecular complexity, that's fine. But don't leave here and go, I hated everything he believed and thought and said, but the meat and bone constituent, I was fine with that was lovely. It's ridiculous, isn't it? How far liberal rationals will go to be ignorant cunts.